Come and enjoy a straightforward, humorous, and enlightened hour on quantum physics to metaphysics on the show that wants you to ask questions. It's time for Ask Patti, live with your host, Patti Conklin.
Hi, folks. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. This is Patti Conklin and Frenesa Hall, MD. We have our wonderful show here, Ask Patti Live. Quantum physics and metaphysics with life in between. So thank you so much for joining us this evening. And we've been on kind of a roll lately with personal responsibility and relationships. And last week we were discussing, depression and how that affected relationships and personal responsibility and the differences between depression and what was that word?
Dysthymia.
Dysthymia, thank you.
Sort of that in-between, not depressed but not happy.
Right. Somewhere in between. So we just thought we'd continue on a little bit more tonight because we really, we have a lot of friends, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there, and people have friends about who have challenges in relationships. And, this isn't going away with the economy getting as stressed as it is. And we're in an election year. And I think that always creates a lot more stress, that people are having challenges across the board in their personal relationships and in their work relationships. When I look at the factors of people starting to have problems in their relationships, I really have to come back down to people not taking personal responsibility for working through their own stuff. And we all have stuff to work through. Miss Hall over here has gotten in my face as a dear friend many times when I've needed to hear some truth. And I think I've given her a few suggestions. Not maybe in your face as much, but you haven't needed it.
I've been on my good behavior.
You've been on a great behavior for the last 8 months, and certainly I'm sure your partner appreciates it. But when I look at personal responsibility and how we deal with life, what do you think? How often do we need to be looking at our stuff? Is it daily? Is it monthly? Do we have a reality check once every 6 months? What's important? Doctor?
Well, I think it's just a function of living and growing.
Mm-hmm.
We're not the same people we were 5 years ago or 10 years ago,
right.
Or certainly not 20 years ago. Got the extra 20 pounds to prove that.
Yeah. You and me both, yeah.
But I think that as we grow as individuals, we go through changes. Those are times when, we probably do need to stop and take a little
right.
personal inventory.
Right.
And sometimes, you just get so caught up in your life and your own world that, you don't even think about that.
Yeah.
And that's where good friends and family, are instrumental, because they're people that know you.
Yeah.
And they know, when you're deviating from what you have historically, your values or morals or whatever you want to call them.
Right.
Where you're straying from that. It's
right.
Like, hey, what are you doing?
Right.
What have you stopped and really examined this?
Right.
And sometimes it takes someone putting a mirror up to your face.
Yeah.
To get you to kind of stop and say, well, let me take some time and look at myself.
Yeah.
And certainly over the past several years, I've gone through a lot of transitions,
mm-hmm.
different type of career, for instance.
Right.
The transition from the decision to sell my practice was huge.
Right.
It was
right.
huge. It was all sorts of things, ego and family expectations and blah, 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 all wrapped up
and all the years of med school.
Exactly.
And just, the contribution.
The idea of what you thought you would be doing and the reality that, it's not that way.
Right.
And then who do I become? What do I do now? All those things, have this tremendous impact on you, and sometimes you've got to stop and just stop.
Right.
Just stop.
Yeah.
Because, you know me, I'm always doing something. I've got this, got that, I'm doing this, and that.
Yeah, way too many.
Yeah.
At times.
But, there comes a time when you really do have to stop.
Yeah.
And take a look at yourself and kind of, am I heading in the path that I want to? Am I treating the people that I care for the way I should? Am I paying attention to my own personal needs and and going down the line? And then if the answer is no, then you're doing something wrong.
Well, and that's where the personal responsibility comes in, to get in there and do that check. If you don't know yourself, it is really challenging to get in a relationship and get, whether it's a personal relationship, whether it's a friendship, but the intimate personal relationships are a lot more challenging.
Right.
They're just a lot more challenging because if you are totally up in the air, and I'm going to use you for an example here for a second.
Okay.
I am sure that when you made the decision to sell your practice and just, start mobile medicine, or just, I don't think you even knew at the time that you were going to start mobile medicine. You just knew that you needed to change.
Yes.
And we know when we're happy, we get these nice little pheromones and hormones going, and we just feel all butterfly, and we feel good. And when we feel rotten, we really feel rotten. My point is this, that when we come into new situations, especially when we're changing jobs, if we have a current relationship, which you did, you guys had been together 16, 17 years at that time, you had a partner who could say, okay, you're just acting crazy, or you need to slow down, or you need to stop and think about what you're doing, or you made this decision, deal with your stuff and get through it.
Right.
That is not the time to start a new relationship.
Absolutely not.
Because then nobody knows anything.
Well, you have no footing, no solid ground, no foundation for yourself,
right?
On which to build a relationship. I mean, think about it. I guess I like the visual imagery of it, but if you have no foundation, or you have a foundation made out of toothpicks,
right?
And then your partner has their foundation, and let's just say it's sturdy,
right?
When you start building on top of that, your side is going to give.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's going to have an impact on that other person.
Right.
And it's not going to be pleasant. And that's not to say that you can't get through it and work through it, but it certainly handicaps you.
Right.
Because the strong foundation is what gets you through the bad times.
Yes.
Everybody can sail through the good times.
Absolutely.
That's not the hard part. The hard part is getting through the bad times, getting through the times when, you hate the world. I mean, I was a miserable, unhappy person for a few years, and just, miserable. And it really took two of my friends, which I said on a previous show, sitting me down and saying, "What? You need to get a grip and change this. We're not going to listen to this anymore."
Right.
And that's what it took, that wake-up call from my friends, to get me to go to therapy and figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if we didn't have that strong foundation, we would have never lasted through that time.
Right. Let's put that thought on hold. We've got Gail on hold, and so Gail, are you there?
I am here.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. Am I talking to Patti?
Yes, you are.
Oh, hello. This is very odd. Frenesa and I are acquaintances, and Gail. Hi, Frenesa. I'm okay. I'm actually talking. Yeah,
her
how about
face
that?
lit up when I said Gail is on hold. She looked at me like, "Is that my Gail?"
Yes, all the way up in Salem, Massachusetts.
Wow, wonderful. Do you have a question for us or a comment?
I don't know if I have a question or a comment.
Patti, give her a 1-minute skivvy on.
Gail, are you open to a 1-minute skivvy?
Yes.
Okay, your 1 minute skivvy, and I only know that Frenesa has a friend, Gail, so I don't know anything else about you. But
should I tell you about me right off the bat, real fast?
Huh?
And should I tell you about me?
Nope.
Real fast. Okay.
No, I'm just gonna give you the 1 minute skivvy, and then you can say something if you want.
Okay.
But the 1 minute skivvy is your adrenal glands are really shut down. Adrenal glands going into the pancreas. And it's kind of interesting because you're just kind of blocked center over to left-hand side. So there's not a lot of energy flow going midsection for you. And it really looks like it's resentment, and it really looks like it goes back to about age 5.
About year 85?
Looking at me going, huh? Okay.
Oh, I'm blocked all right someplace.
So
that's for sure.
Give me the 1 minute skivvy back.
Okay. My skivvy back is I had cancer twice. Once in the lymph node, the thyroid. When I was 32, it spread to the lymph nodes. 26 years later, it came out in my neck when I was 58.
Yeah.
In 14 tumors that they took out.
Good
then they then they had complications in the throat.
Yeah.
Because of surgery that froze my vocal cords. So then they had to put a tube in the stomach so I could eat. And then I had a minor stroke that I remember very clearly, which has left me with a tremor in my right arm. So I'm doing my right arm, my whole right side. And I am doing acupuncture for the past 6 months to help open up the channels and deal with this on a cellular level of healing from within. And I have subsided the tremor about 50%.
Wonderful.
And it still, goes to town and shaking. I look like I have Parkinson's.
Okay.
But
you certainly have
I
the
don't.
What am I saying?
I don't know.
Her language, her Massachusetts accent. Thank you.
Oh, all right.
Listen, the body always gives me the first thing that has to be looked at, because so much of the time in life where our blockages begin is not where we're having problems. And what happens is the body sends out tendrils into different parts of the body. You absolutely need to deal with the adrenals, because there's no doubt in my mind that everything in the thyroid, everything that has been affected with the lymph, actually began with resentment in the adrenal glands.
Oh, absolutely. I could tell you that. I knew I had a very, very hard, traumatic life that led up to it. I understand that.
So the important thing is also when you're doing acupuncture and all of that, make sure you're working with the adrenals still, and start doing colors. And I can have Frenesa send you one of my color work CDs. But just start working with what color do I need to remove the resentment in my adrenal glands.
Okay.
And really just, I think what you're doing is good, but let's really focus on the adrenal glands.
I will address that. And I didn't think I had any more resentment left in me, but...
Well, it's what's interesting is that so much of the time we deal with it behaviorally. Intellectually we know what we need to change or who we need to forgive. But on a cellular level, it gets stuck within the cells.
Okay.
And so unless we're using active frequency to move it out of the cells, it just kind of stays buried in the cells. And it's why people, for the most part, reoccur, is because it never actually got out of the cells. We got rid of it behaviorally, but we haven't gotten rid of it in the cells.
All right.
Okay.
I got it. I do. I understand.
Thank you so much for calling.
My pleasure. Thank you.
That was really
yes,
cool.
Vanessa. Huh?
Take care.
And really, I didn't even mention that you might call. So this is totally Patty.
I am so excited and so thrilled and so honored, and I really appreciate you giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you,
Please
Patty.
Thank
you, Frenesa.
Yeah.
Be well, and we'll be in touch.
Okay, excellent.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Okay,
Thank you
bye-bye.
so much. Bye.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it when your friends call in.
Excellent.
We've got Rose in New York. who's on hold for us. So, Rose, are you there?
Yes, hi, how are you?
Good, how about you?
Good, thanks for taking my call.
No problem. What can we help you with?
Well, I was just wondering what you see with my health. I have a couple
I'm
of problems.
giving the 1 minute skivvies out tonight. The 1 minute with you is that it's kind of unusual, only in that the lymphatic glands on the right side of your neck are really congested. Now, that's a really odd place to see that kind of a congestion. Normally, you'll see, congestion in the head or in the torso and so on. Yours is really just right there on the right side of your neck. What's going on? Any health challenges that you're dealing with?
Well, years ago, back in 2002, I actually had a blood clot near my neck, like under my collarbone.
Okay.
That they said, the blood flows through, but it kept, it stayed there. It might be like scar tissue. I have no problems. It doesn't bother me, but maybe that's what you're saying.
It's pretty clear that you've still got some lymphatic congestion and just energy blockage there. So I would encourage you to have some lymphatic drainage. You also look like burdock roots would be good for you, and I'm not sure why I'm saying that.
What is that called? What was
and
that
Dr.
called again?
Hall is over here looking at me like, huh?
What is that called again?
Pardon?
What was that?
It's called burdock root.
How do you spell it, with a V?
With a B as in baby.
Oh, B?
Yeah, B-U-R-D-O-C-K. Burdock root.
And that's for the lymph draining?
Pardon?
And that was for the lymph, the draining of the lymph?
Yeah, it just helps move out excess fluid from the lymph and helps the kidneys process a little bit more. So I would, not that I'm an herbologist, because I know nothing other than what your body's telling me right now.
Right.
So I would just get in there and check that out and get some lymph drainage. And overall, I think your health is really good. Your electrolytes look good, and potassium, magnesium look pretty balanced. So just work with that a little bit, okay?
Because you know what I just wanted to see if you're picking up on anything is
sure, you can talk a little bit louder, would you please?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. A few years ago, I had a problem where my hair came out. My hair fell out. I mean, like totally.
Yeah.
And then it took about a year. It started to it came in again, but it's still right now. I have hair, but it's so thin that I have like a little bald spot in the back.
Well, typically I'd say the adrenal glands, but for you it's not. It's really that whole stoppage of energy going up into your head. I think that because the right side of your neck is so congested that energy's not flowing well into your scalp.
Really?
So maybe work with some craniosacral work in addition to some lymphatic massage and see if that doesn't, because your adrenals don't look that shocked or that problematic.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank
Excellent.
you so much.
Thanks for calling.
Okay. Thank you.
All
Bye-bye.
right.
Bye.
Okay. Well, we have another caller on hold.
All right. Excellent.
I just wonder sometimes if it's the universe saying, you two stop talking about relationships and just so on. But we love it, folks. Keep the phone calls coming in. We'll take this phone call real quick before we go to break. So this is Leah from Ohio. Is that right?
That's right.
How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. And
wonderful. What can we help you with?
Well, first of all, I want to tell you I think you're great. So
thank you so much. We appreciate that. What can I help you with?
Well, I just wonder if you could give me the 1 minute. I have to talk to you.
It's a 1 minute skivvy night. I love it.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I love it. Let me look at you real quick. And for you, it looks like everything's just kind of stopping in your kidneys. In fact, it looks like there's even just slight crystallization in your kidneys. So are you good about drinking a lot of water?
No.
No.
Trying.
Okay. Will you increase your water flow?
But you will be.
Yes, you will be really good about taking in lots of water after tonight's show.
I tried to cut out Coca-Cola and coffee. And
oh, my goodness.
Okay, well, no wonder there's some crystallization going on in there.
But just give up the Coca-Cola.
Yeah, you can keep the coffee. I'm all for coffee.
Is lemon okay, or is it just plain water the best?
Plain water. I really want you to start, because your kidneys just look really sluggish. They're not diseased, don't get me wrong, but they're really sluggish. And remember, everything is energy that becomes dense, that moves into a physical illness. And you're still in the energy stage. So the fact that you're starting to get a little bit of crystallization, just be careful with it.
Well, I had
really
kidney stones.
Increasing water. It also looks like you're really low in dark greens, in terms of spinach and broccoli and so on. How are you with veggies?
Not too good.
Okay.
Avocados, that's it.
Huh?
I only eat avocados.
Okay, well, how about some more water, like increasing it by like 5 glasses.
Wow.
And getting some spinach and some broccoli going, at least twice a week for now. The other thing that I would help is if you went ahead and got some super greens.
Yeah,
some kind of
Metagreen is an excellent one.
Metagreen? Okay.
If you email me, I can email you the information, but Metagreens is a nice combination. It's got probiotics in it as well as the greens.
Right.
And so it's a really, and it tastes good.
Okay.
Do they have it in capsule form too? Because I can feel her going, ew.
No, that doesn't come in capsules. Most of the greens that I've come across do not come in capsules. They're powder, and you scoop them out in water. I'll tell you what, if you email me, I'll send you a few packets, and you can try it.
And you can email her at Frenesa, FRENESA, at mobile-medicine.net.
Right. Or if she just goes to the website and hits contact us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then we'll send it off to you. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, but you know what? The thing is, you've got to find an easy way to get the things you need in your body.
Yeah.
And I use the greens because there are times when I just, I get busy and I just don't get enough greens.
Yeah.
So,
and you are depleted a little bit, okay?
Yeah, the only thing, I was eating a lot of celery on the go. And
that's not dark green.
Avocado.
It has minimal nutritional value.
In fact, when we want to lose weight, it's supposed to be a reversal of calories. So, no, it doesn't count. Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, let's go to break, and on the other side of break, then we have Joe in Arizona on hold. But let's go to break first, and we'll see you on the other side.
Great.
Thank you so much, folks, for joining us. I want to go back to Cameron and Davindio's spot. That sounds like they're having a really good time on their show. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We've had some wonderful phone calls. This is Patti Conklin with Frenesa Hall, MD, and you can reach Frenesa at mobile-medicine.net, and she does phone consultations. So, if you have a physician in your area of the woods and you just want a physician who can kind of overview everything you're taking and kind of get a handle medically and holistically, then Frenesa is your physician. And so give her a call and make that appointment today because, for all the years I've known her, I don't think she would typically say she's intuitive, at least not like intuitive, and I'm making quotation marks right now. However, she really is. And when she looks at everything that you're doing medically and or holistically, she really gets a great idea on what's taking place in the overview.
I'm trying to develop my intuition more.
You're not
you've encouraged me.
Trying, because trying is a futuristic term. You are increasing your intuition.
Okay.
And I feel you're doing great. So let's see. Do we have Joe from Arizona on board?
I'm on hold.
Hi, Joe. How you doing?
Fine. How are you, Patty?
I'm doing great. It's great to hear your voice.
Oh, I'm glad to be connected again.
Yeah, absolutely. So what can we help you with tonight?
Well, first thing, I'd like a 1 minute, but I have a question before that.
Okay.
When you clear cellular memories, are they just from this lifetime or all lifetime?
All lifetime.
So you bring them forward into this lifetime?
Pardon?
You bring them forward into this lifetime in your cells?
Yeah. And when we're doing a cellular cleansing, there's a room that we go into, and how I phrase it is this, that every past life that you've learned the lesson from that can be disconnected will be disconnected.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that there aren't other past lives that will surface later on. It just means that you hadn't learned the lesson of that past life at the time of the cellular.
Okay.
So I always say it's a smart move to go in there and just every once in a while after a cellular and just kind of visualize the room and see if your helpers can help you disconnect anything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you want the 1 minute skivvy?
That would be wonderful.
Okay. It's been years since I've seen you, so
yes.
I'm not going to attempt to make any comparisons here because I haven't seen you in a while. But the thing that's standing out for me tonight is your adrenal glands and just kind of coming up into the lungs a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You look a little anemic.
Mm-hmm.
How have you been feeling?
Pretty good, actually, except for I have right now like a little sciatica.
Okay.
But I didn't know if that was block kundalini instead of sciatica.
Pardon?
I didn't know if that was block kundalini or just sciatica.
It actually, I can't see either one. Your
Okay.
body's not responding on either statement.
Right.
So I would say that because your body didn't trigger, it's neither one.
Okay.
And maybe just take some Epsom salt baths and see if that helps you. See if that helps you at all. But you really look like you need some iron.
Mm-hmm.
And just maybe increase the iron, whether you're...
Well, iron in your diet is probably your best bet.
Yeah.
In the form of a capsule?
Well, no, I would say, eat foods high in iron.
Such as?
Well, red meat is one. Those are the big ones. I always call Perry with these kinds of questions.
With those kind of questions,
If you Google iron in food, you can find this, wealth of resources that will tell you what foods besides red meat will give you iron. Food is always the best source of nutrients, and in men, typically, you can get in trouble taking too much iron.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I say, do it with food, because you won't get into the trouble you can get into with capsules or pills.
Right.
Because too much iron is actually bad for you. So just as a precaution, I would start with food.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just kind of work with that a little bit. It's interesting because your spleen doesn't look like it's affected at all. I mean, everything looks pretty open for you, Joe. I would just say let's work a little bit on the adrenal glands and kind of coming up into the lungs just a little bit and increase your iron.
Mm-hmm. And how do I work on the adrenal glands?
Pardon?
How do I work on the adrenal glands?
What I would work on for you is just, and it's weird because the emotion that's coming through right now is hesitancy. And I would consider that more of an action than an emotion.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what's coming through. So you remember how to do the color work?
Yeah.
From years ago. Joe always filmed at the Ozark Research Institute when I would teach there.
Yeah.
So Joe was always handling audio visual. But do your color works and ask your body what color it needs to remove the hesitancy from the adrenal glands.
All right.
Breathe that for 3 or 4 minutes and then move with what color do I need to increase my iron to a healthy level.
Yeah.
Okay?
Thank you.
And work with those two. It's just so good to hear your voice.
Oh, it's great to hear you again.
Take care of yourself.
You too.
Thank you so much for calling in.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, well, we're going to move on to Eileen from Tennessee. Hi, Eileen.
Hi, Patty. How are you doing? Okay?
I'm doing wonderful. How about you?
I'm doing great. I'm a little nervous about talking to you. I never spoken to anybody about my health before.
Oh, my goodness. It's painless, I'll tell you.
I hope so.
What can I help you with?
Well, I want to see how I am physically. And did I ever have a broken ankle in a past life? It might sound weird, but I'm always very weary about my ankles.
About your
ankles? I'm always
ankles?
afraid I'm going to fall and break it or something.
Typically, typically what happens for me is that a little movie kind of starts playing on the right side of the head, and I don't see a movie right now. So I would say at least, from what I see, no. Did not break it in a prior life. All right. But it does look like. Have you been good about keeping enough calcium and so on in your bones?
No.
Okay. Well, let's get started. How old are you now?
Okay.
How old are you?
All right.
Pardon? Okay. Come on now.
Calcium. I mean, I feel fine.
Okay.
I always thank the angels for that, because last week I wasn't feeling too good, and I was praying to them, and all of a sudden, Sunday I woke up and I feel great, like another person.
Like they just got in there. This is two things I would say, okay? I want you to really look at taking a calcium supplement. It's not that your bones are brittle, but it looks like they could be brittle later on.
All right.
Make sure you're taking some calcium supplements. And the area of your body that I would really work with is the right breast area.
Okay.
Because that looks like that it has the most congestion going on in your body.
Okay,
so work with that. I think overall you look really in good shape. My question to you would be, what are you doing every day that just really makes you giggle? That really makes you happy?
Okay. What should I be doing on the right side?
On the right side, I would work with color and just say to your body, what color do I need to remove the blockages from the right side of my body?
What color? Okay.
And then just whatever color you imagine, and, there's no right or wrong. I want you to just breathe in through your nose and bring the color in through the bottom of your feet, straight up your body, both sides, and out your mouth. It's a real simple exercise, but it gets frequency moving within the body.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
That wasn't too long. That wasn't painful at all.
No, it's not painful at all. It's not painful at all.
I have a question. Are you exercising?
Well, I'm always on my feet. I've been a waitress all my life, and, right now I'm working in the deli department in public, so I'm always running around.
You're always running around.
And that's probably why I'm so afraid of breaking my ankle.
Pardon?
That's probably why I'm so afraid of breaking my ankle.
Because you are moving around so much. I want to just kind of make a gentle suggestion that when you're on your feet that much and you're running around and you're doing that kind of stuff, that's really not bone-building exercise. That's just a lot of movement. And so I think some really constructive, structured exercise would be good for you. It sounds like
treadmill,
you got some walking in. But let's look at some strength exercising, okay?
Okay, so besides the treadmill?
Besides the treadmill, get some calcium going. And and I'm not quite sure what an exercise would be to just strengthen bone.
One of the
just like lightweight.
Do a weight routine. You can go see a trainer for a session and have them put you on a routine that you can do at home.
Yeah.
I used to work with weights and exercise and everything, but I used to do all that.
Well, I guess I need
to get back into it.
Go back to it, okay? You're worth a half hour a day for yourself.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you. Have a good night now.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Well, we're going to go to Wendy in Ottawa. Hi, Wendy.
Hi.
How is Canada?
We just got a whole bunch of snow, and we have more on the way. So.
Oh, my goodness.
Our snowbanks are very, very tall.
Dr. Hall. What can we help you with?
I just had a question. I have a sneaking suspicion, and I want to know what you thought if I have, or if you see that I have a candida overgrowth in my, in my body.
Well, I think you should trust your own intuition. My vote is yes.
Yeah.
And the place that it's really overgrowing is right at the base of your brainstem. And it looks like cottage cheese. So have you been having any fuzzy brain lately?
Probably on and off. I've got a lot on the brain. It's hard to tell.
Well, I mean, at least you know you've got a lot on the brain, so I mean, that's important. But I would definitely do an acidophilus protocol.
Yeah.
And, take 10, 12 days where there's no fruit, no grains, no alcohol, just meat and vegetables.
Okay.
No corn, no sweet vegetables. And then
10 to 12 days?
Lots of yogurt, lots of organic
I'm not
yogurt
supposed to have
with
dairy.
No fruit.
Apparently I'm intolerant to dairy.
Pardon?
Apparently I was told by my naturopath that I'm intolerant to dairy, so I can't
I have never heard a naturopath who didn't tell somebody they weren't intolerant of dairy.
Okay.
I just think that the body makes truth out of what we're saying and what we're thinking. And, when you're taking your yogurt, thank your body. I mean, it's that simple. Before you get in there, just say, thank you, body, for tolerating this yogurt so wonderfully and helping me out.
Right.
And it really does work. But no, I haven't heard a naturopath say that
someone wasn't intolerant.
Yeah, somebody wasn't intolerant. That seems to be wheat intolerant and dairy intolerant. So work with that a little bit, and then and the acidophilus, I always recommend that you take. It'll say take 2 pills 3 times a day for acidophilus. If you're doing capsule form, I always recommend that you take 3 to 4 pills all at once first thing in the morning before you eat or drink anything. Kick it in the butt. If you just take it throughout the course of the day, you're just not going to have the same results.
Okay. The other thing, too, is that you can test. Oftentimes the GI tract is the source of the yeast overgrowth.
Of the yeast, yeah.
And so there's a lab called Metametrics. I'm one of the clinical consultants for them. And they have a test on your GI tract, and that can actually identify an overgrowth of yeast. But what I find is fascinating is that they will actually test certain herbal products as well as antifungal to see what's effective in helping eradicate the body of that.
And they do this by mail, correct?
Yeah. Send you a kit, and you send it off to the lab, and then they take care of it. So go to my website.
What about an antifungal?
And if you're interested, and email me, and I'll send you the information about it.
The other thing that I'm going to throw in here before we go to break is that one thing that doctors don't say, and most holistic practitioners, but I swear by it, if you are in a relationship, your partner must go through the yeast protocol at the same time.
Okay.
Or it's not going to do a darn bit of good.
Okay.
Because you're just going to pass it back and forth.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Seriously. And
even though it's even though it's inside, it's not like a.
Even though it's inside.
Okay.
Even though it's inside, you're just going to pass it back and forth because a lot of times it's not vaginal; it's systemic.
Right. Yeah.
So So both of you. Okay. That's all right for the night.
Okay. Thank you very
much for calling.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Take care. Okay. Well, we are at 1:15 already.
My goodness.
I don't know where
the time
flies. But if we could, let's go ahead and go to break, and we'll see you folks on the other side. So much. This is Patti Conklin and Dr. Frenesa Hall, and we're talking about quantum physics to metaphysics with life in between on Ask Patti Live. And I love that little info spots for Contact Talk Radio. It's wonderful. Greg's wonderful. Okay, so we've had some wonderful, wonderful phone calls this evening. I'm still hearing music in the background, but hopefully you folks are hearing me over it. There we go. So it's Patti Conklin and Frenesa Hall, MD, and we've had great phone calls, and we don't actually have anyone on the line right now. So I'm going to go back to our conversation that we had the first 15 minutes of our show. And so let's go with talking about relationships. Okay? So let's go back, because I was going to make this point. And we were talking about if we're having a challenging time in our life, then that's not the time to start a relationship, because we're starting a relationship built on stress. And that's just really challenging.
Well, it's already challenging.
It's already challenging because life's being challenging. But if we're looking at life, see, I'm kind of of the opinion, and maybe I'm obsessive about this. I just really think we have to keep moving forward with understanding who we are as individuals.
And that changes.
And that changes as we continue day-to-day life. I mean, day-to-day life. And it's looking at who are you as a person and what is your own personal morals and ethics. Not necessarily culture's moral and ethics, but what are you really comfortable with within your life? And how are you going to move that forward into a relationship? Because if you don't know yourself and you're acting outside of normal patterns, then that's a head up. You know, that's a heads up to say, hey, you know, that's
I'm not ready to bring someone into the madness of my life. And just looking at that energetically of what we do as we shut down our bodies. Understand what's important to you. Now, I'm going to give a personal. As long as it's not me.
I'm going to move away from you and your 22 years of, great relationship. One of the things that I've always recognized about myself and that I really had to come to terms with was I'm not a jealous person. And when I look at relationships, it never bothered me if my partner stepped outside of the relationship and had intimate relations with someone else. That was something that was a no-brainer for me, was not an issue. However, if that was an issue for me, then I can't then myself step outside of a relationship. You know, it's
do
like...
unto others?
Yeah, do unto others. So it's really understanding yourself and saying, you know, who am I as an individual? Is my belief what the majority of individuals believe? No. But it's who I am, and it's what I believe, and it's something that I've tested for myself, and it's something that I revisit to see if my feelings change as I continue to grow as a human being.
Right, and we've talked about that. And I think the important thing is that, you know, you need to be with a partner who's on the same page.
Absolutely.
So if you're thinking that it's okay to, you know, go on a business trip and meet some friend or something, but your partner doesn't, there's a huge problem.
Exactly.
Or vice versa. So, I mean, I think that's where, you know, knowing yourself and knowing what your boundaries are, and being able to articulate that. And I think that, you know, when you're confident in who you are, then you're bringing something to the table in a relationship.
Right. And that doesn't mean that it's not, that you're not going to continue to grow as a person, because whenever we get involved in relationships,
we
grow because our buttons get pushed. But I think the most important thing, and the reason I'm bringing all of this back up and around, is how it affects us physically. If we're not honoring ourselves and taking personal responsibility, how messed up your body gets in a very short period of time because you're not being true to yourself. And you can't psych your body out. Your body knows what truth is, and you can't psych it out. And so if you're stepping outside of yourself, or you're not paying attention to building those foundational parts of you within your personality, who you are as a human being, then what you're really doing is stopping up the flow within your body, and other issues are going to come to the forefront.
Right. They'll work their way out one place, and you can take care of that.
Exactly.
And they'll just work their way out some other way.
And they're going to come out some way. You know, I had kind of a stressful week in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Some of it was really good. Some of it was really challenging. And I realized I was stressed yesterday, but I didn't take time to review my stress and how I was actually dealing with it. And so this morning, in the early hours of the morning, I remember a dream, and I had put some like cream conditioner, almost like hair color, on my hair, and I left it too long, and my hair was just, I mean, it wasn't falling out. It was like you were shaving it, like the old cream hair products, or
like Nair.
Like Nair. But that was what was happening to my hair, and all of my hair was just like sloughing off my scalp. And so when I woke up this morning, I was just, I mean, my stomach was twisted, and I thought, boy, girl, you did not pay attention to yesterday. You did not pay attention and deal with your stress, because for me, I need to deal with it on a regular basis. It's not something that, you know, I'll go through life and 6 months down the road not have evaluated and reevaluated myself, because it's important to me as a teacher, as a facilitator, that I walk my talk, and that I do check in, and that I am being aware. So I've had a full day of patience today, so by the time we get off this radio show tonight, I will be sitting with myself and kind of looking at that. But what do you say to the folks out there who are getting ready or beginning relationships when their world is really topsy-turvy, in addition to all of that?
Go to therapy.
And go to therapy, okay. That makes sense.
I mean, I think it can, having that objective view of what's going on and what you're doing is helpful.
Right.
And it's hard to do that with family, because your emotions get caught up in it. And then sometimes it's hard to do with friends.
Right.
Because you emotionally there's too much connection. But having that objective third party help you examine what you're doing and how you're doing things, it can, I think, be extremely beneficial.
Right.
And, you know, it may not be the conventional talk therapy. I mean, I've been to talk therapy.
Right.
I've been to energy therapy,
yeah,
which was sort of a combination of talk therapy and energy work. And they were very beneficial for those different stages in my life.
In your life,
But I think that, you know, sometimes we just need help.
Yeah.
So go get it.
Right. Right.
You know, and
if you, how do you tell the difference?
How do you tell the difference between what?
Whether or not you're really, I mean, if your friends are saying, okay, you're just being a little messed up, we need you to back down, but the friends aren't getting all over in your face.
If your friends keep saying the same thing to you,
then you know.
Then you know, well, okay, clearly I haven't, you know, it's been 6 months and they're still saying this to me.
Yeah.
Then clearly I haven't been able to do it myself.
Right.
So then I need to go get help.
Right.
And I think that if you stop and you listen, you will hear the world telling you need to go address it.
Right.
And then you just have to take a hard look at yourself and say, am I going to really be able to address this myself? Sometimes the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes the answer is no. And you
Right.
just really have to be honest with yourself.
Right.
You know, be honest.
Right.
Because
Just
the only
sit
person
down.
you're cheating is yourself.
It's yourself.
I mean,
Yeah.
think of it this way. If going to therapy is going to help you get through whatever it is more efficiently and faster,
Right.
do it.
Yeah.
Don't wake
Yeah.
up 5 years later
Yeah.
and you're finally better when you could have done it in a year.
Right. Right. And gotten on and enjoyed life.
Exactly.
And not really held back.
Just go ahead and get through it. And maybe it's painful. You know,
it always
but
is.
Personally, you know, I would rather, like when you pull the Band-Aid off,
right?
Just yank it.
Yeah.
Don't do pull. Ow,
Yeah.
ow, ow, ow. Get it.
And I'm the person who, when I know it's getting close to take the Band-Aid off, I start working the edges so I start loosening it so that it doesn't hurt me when I yank it off. So that's the
you yank it off.
But I yank it off. But I get starting to be aware that the time's coming.
You ease into it, and then you
pick at those edges just enough.
You know, the thing is going and getting the help that you need.
Yeah.
And being honest with yourself when you are in therapy. Because I know a lot of people that, basically tell the therapist whatever they want to hear. Well, you know what? The therapist is going to charge you the same whether you tell the truth or not.
That's right. That's very true.
Now, the difference, however, is the benefit that you get from it.
Right. Folks, thank you so much for joining us. I want to remind you that Frenesa's, that's a perfect, Frenesa's website is mobile-medicine.net, and my website is pattyconklin.com. And get on there and see where I'm going to be next. I'm going to be in Fairfax, Virginia. I'll be in Johnson City, Tennessee, coming up to Lilydale, New York.
Wow. So, go to my site and send me an email.
Absolutely.
Go to contact us, and I'll,
And she's much better at email than I am. So thank you so much, folks, for joining us tonight, being a part of the show, and we look forward to hearing from you next week. So be blessed. Have a wonderful week.